This is the fifth video from Napoleon Hill's Positive Mental Attitude, the Science of Success. If you'd like to purchase the book from Amazon, please click on the link at the top of the description below. Mr. Chrysler had studied his new car in his Salt Lake City garage and had saturated his mind with the good and bad features of it. He was thus prepared to do an outstanding job of designing and building a car bearing his own name. Walter P. Chrysler proved the value of definiteness of purpose. His rise to fame and fortune was not left to chance. He knew where he was going, and he prepared himself adequately and carefully for the journey. The second big idea. All individual achievements are the result of a motive or combination of motives. The 10 basic motives which inspire all voluntary action are discussed here. 1. The desire for self-preservation. 2. The emotion of love. 3. The emotion of fear. 4. The emotion of sex. 5. The desire for life after death. 6. The desire for freedom of body and mind. 7. The desire for revenge. 8. The emotion of hate. 9. The desire for self-expression and recognition. 10. The desire for material gain. These 10 motives constitute the alphabet of success in dealing with other people. For all sane people are engaged in voluntary action because of a motive. Unless you are familiar with the ABCs of success, you will not learn to live very well. You must have them. Not only are they important to an understanding of other people and what makes them tick, but you, yourself, as a fellow human being, respond to these same motives. And you will find that unless specific goals of your life, no matter how small, are supported with a proper number of these motives, you are not going to be interested in carrying out these plans to a successful conclusion. A burning desire behind your specific goal is essential, and you are not going to have a burning desire unless you have a motive that literally sets you on fire. We will discuss more fully a burning desire in connection with the third big idea. The more of these basic motives that you have urging you on, the more likely you are to get in touch with the subconscious mind and draw on the power of infinite intelligence. First motive, desire for self-preservation. Everyone is motivated in this direction. We will not discuss it too fully, since it is already quite generally understood. We might say, however, that primitively this motive was useful in defending one's person against aggressive physical foes. Now it is largely related to the desire for mental wealth just discussed, and the struggle for preservation from want and fear. It is manifest in our society as the desire for economic security. Second motive, love. The greatest of all motives is love. Love is a physical force related to the spiritual side of man. When we speak of love, we have reference not merely to physical attraction. We mean love in its bigger, broader sense. Love is the greatest and most powerful motive known. Volumes have been written about love, and here we can only point out some of the salient aspects of it. There are many kinds of love. Love of self is the lowest order, for it implies selfishness. Love of truth or principle is the highest, for it is based on righteousness. Somewhere in between comes love of neighbor, which, if understood correctly, brings participants into harmony with the basic rhythm of life. There are varieties of neighborly love, that of parents for their children, and children for parents, that of friendships, regardless of age, sex, or social relationships. Then there is also the love of sweethearts. Generally speaking, there can be 3 different attitudes in the expression of one's love. A labor of love. This is work which you enjoy doing and which brings forth your best creative effort. A love of this type is based on intelligent self-interest, something vastly different from self-love or selfishness. To have a labor of love is to have one of the great riches of life. A love of truth or principle. This is love of an ideal which finds expression in one's thirst for spiritual enlightenment and the continual search for further knowledge of things as they are. It leads to understanding and a realization of worthyship, which is the real meaning of the word worship. A person motivated by this kind of love has true humility in his heart. Love of a beautiful woman or a handsome man. They are your girlfriend, your sweetheart, or your wife or husband. In this type of love, there are these three basic ingredients: physical attraction, affectionate response, and intellectual and spiritual companionship. Rich and blessed indeed is the man or woman who can truly say that his or her relationship to someone of the opposite sex actually fulfills these requirements. If this were a more frequent occurrence and somehow became general, divorce courts would find it more difficult to function. And, in addition to that, how many people would become outstanding successes in life? It is only natural for a person to put forth extraordinary effort and his finest talent to please the object of his affection. See this truth demonstrated by the boy from the days of grade school, when he starts turning handsprings on the sidewalk to attract the attention and earn the admiration of some little girl he walks home with. In adolescence, he begins lifting weights to develop a manly chest and bulging biceps that look good in the sunshine at the beach. He attempts still further development as he strives for skill at football, basketball, or track, to win the approving smile of the cheerleader or that cute little blonde. The full-grown man works overtime to buy a bigger and faster car than his competitors, so Susie will prefer him to the others. Girls manifest the same instinctive desire to please and attract boys by excelling in the activities suited to their natures. Let us say that blind devotion to anyone or anything, regardless of the principles or the consequences it involves, cannot be considered real love. Contrary to popular opinion, love is not blind. Love really springs from understanding rather than mystery. It springs from light, not darkness. You grow to love the things you know and understand. The more you learn of life and the interrelation of every form of it, the more profound will be your appreciation, respect, and reverence for the infinite intelligence behind it. No thinking person can doubt that he is moving toward a definite purpose. There are many things in connection with which we should express our love every day. We should express the highest form of love in our daily prayers, and make them prayers, not so much for the things we want, but prayers of gratitude for what we already have. As you learn to pray this way, to make your prayer of thanks for the blessings you have already received, you will find that you attract more of those things to you. And, in praying this way, you will find that your will gets results almost instantaneously. Third motive, the emotion of fear. There are 7 basic fears, some combination of which every human suffers at one time or another. They can rob you of your personal initiative and help keep you in poverty all your life. All of these basic fears must be conquered if you are going to eliminate their negative influence. Remember this truth. Every human being has the capacity to take complete control of his mind. The Creator has given man the right of absolute control over one thing, and that is thought. This fact, plus the further fact that everything which man does begins in the form of a thought impulse, gives us the clue as to how fear may be overcome. All thought tends to continue to its physical expression by the most convenient means available. Therefore, you can see that it is imperative that a person who wishes to conquer his fears must find a way to select and control the type of mental food upon which he allows his fears to feed. Fears are nothing more than states of mind. One state of mind is subject to control and direction. The purpose of all of these principles is primarily to enable you to take possession of the powers of your mind and keep them turned in a positive manner upon the object of your desire. This completes this video. If you would like to purchase the ebook on Amazon, please click on the link at the top of the description below.